said in the flood, God gave a snow globe to those who he wanted to survive. The consciousness is that he wanted to survive. So it's like everything flooded, and it's like everyone got this little encapsulation around them of the consciousnesses that he wanted to continue to survive. So the world has gone from like a water world to like a desert world to now back to kind of like going back into a water world again. But that, the snow globes are actually they're actually like a casing around us. Christ's waters flooded the earth, washed the whole thing away, and the consciousness that came down here got encapsulated with that Christ water within them. Interesting. And that's the soul plane. That's very interesting.
Well, let's get into the manifestation. That's what we're going to finish up the Snow Globe book. Yep. And we'll have kind of a conclusion by Marisa very shortly, and then they'll
answer questions.
Well, we're going to do the manifestation. That's going to be a few pages, and then we're going to have these were the teachings of Christ, and then we're going to have a note from Marisa, and then after that we have step-by-step snow globe exercise. So we'll get into that. And that will pretty much, then we have another exercise to manifest with your snow globe, and that's by Jesus.
Ooh, this Fern Gully thing is,
well, let's try to, and then an epilogue. So let's see if we can get done. Today's my last day. I'm going to Mexico tomorrow, and then I'll come back in June. So we'll see. Life will be very strange in June. Right? Are you guys going to be moved back over here to the condo, or you're going to be moving to a new house? This is really creepy because look at
that's the Fern Gully. I've never seen Fern Gully before. That's the thing that's taking our energy.
Oh my god! I'm
not going to show it to you guys.
Show it. It's like the devil.
Look, it has all that fire inside of it.
Fern Gully?
Yeah, I heard it's like the being from Fern Gully. Oh, you guys can't hear my dad? Okay, let me plug this into this.
Oh, is this?
No, maybe it's just let me see. Let me try this. How about if we'd use the lapel mics? Will you guys can you guys hear us now?
Yeah, let's see. Can anybody hear me?
Now can you hear?
Can anybody hear me? Is it plugged in?
Sound good with you? He sounds far away. Okay, well now can you guys hear us because now we have lapel mics?
Yeah, can you hear me now? I put the microphone.
No, they can't hear us at all.
They can't hear? Is it unplugged? Does this have anything to do with it?
Let's see. Can you guys hear me in this thing? Oh, we're muted now? Okay. Well, we'll just have to project our voices. We're both fine now. Okay. All right, well.
Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
I wonder if the voice is coming through there.
Should I?
Now can you hear us better?
Can anybody hear me?
They can hear us now because I unplugged this.
The microphones are unplugged?
Yeah, I unplugged it.
Oh, so that's not going to do any good.
Good now? Now we're gone.
What happened?
Are we muted? Oh, yeah, we are muted.
You muted us?
An accident, yeah. Toggle mic. There. Okay, how's that? Now let's just test this real quick.
And not the microphones?
Let's try the microphones and see if they're better. Because they were yesterday. Okay. Now can you guys hear us or are we muted?
I'm Joe Morris. Can anybody hear me? 1, 2,
Good,
3.
yes. We got an exclamation point, yes. Okay,
Everybody?
We each have our own little mic.
Okay, I'll put my mic on
Oh, there we go.
my jacket here.
I'm going to steal the limelight.
Okay. Marissa will be there. And let's see, I'm recording on there.
I just heard that this is the being that created Melchizedek, but it fell from the grace of God, and it needs light from the elemental realms, like the trees and the little beings that live in the trees.
Well, Paul compared Jesus to Melchizedek as well.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
One of these days I'll read our books.
Yeah, because you don't know, because you just channel them and you don't.
I just can't even believe that any of that stuff came out of my mouth, what you just said.
Well, we got some more, so you want to say a prayer so we can keep ourselves safe here?
So, yeah, first of all, I want to just disconnect from Madison and Matthew and our famous photo bomber that always happens to come in. Are you recording right now? Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah. He couldn't call because he was outside, so he had to come in. He's funny. Everyone's laughing because everyone knows a rooster. And he acts like he doesn't know. But anyways, so just disconnect from Jeff, the kids, everybody out there that I was just talking to. I was talking to a girl who's going into labor right now, so I just want to make sure that everybody that's human, their souls, all levels of them that I've been talking to today, email and everything, disconnected from that. I'm going to ask that my ego, my logic, and all my intellect be step aside, the greater part, which is me, which is my higher self, and that which created it, flow through me, and that my mind not get in the way, because this is all very interesting to me. We're just going to ask God and his kingdom of beings, or I don't even want to call them angels at this point. We trust you, God, to protect us and to rise us up out of the muck and to take us into a place where I can discern truth from untruth, and that it not even be something that I have to discern, that you set a gatekeeper for me that will be able to determine what comes through and what does not come through. Ooh, I have a new gatekeeper. Ooh, okay. And then that gatekeeper be the one that I'm channeling only. But I ask that I also be able to see who it is that's sending the messages through, because that's a lot more fun. And we ask that our snow globes, that our house be given a snow globe, that me and Papa each have our own snow globe, and everybody in class have their own snow globe, and that we all together get risen up above anything that is dualistic, and that we all be showered with the love of Christ, the light of God, and the energy of the Holy Spirit that lies within each and every single one of us, and that gives us eternal life. Amen. Okay.
And while we're in that snow globe, the light of Christ, or the Holy Spirit, will bathe us in light that will destroy the flakes that swirl inside the water inside your snow globe. So all those negative emotions, all those things will just fall to the floor. So your snow globe is clear, our snow globe is clear. Any cords that we may have attached to anybody who might bring negative thoughts in, we want those cut right now, and we ask that those be cut. And God, keep us protected. Keep Marisa and I protected in this session. Encircle this entire condominium and keep us safe. And give Marisa the words of wisdom that will help somebody out there who is waiting to hear this lesson. So, amen.
Amen. And calling in all the higher selves of the people that didn't make it today, so they can hear this and share it with their people, or maybe they can listen to this later. Because I feel like there's like 97 people sitting over there. Their higher selves are kind of sitting on the bleachers watching, but they're not here.
Do we have Jesus in here?
Jesus is here, but I'm seeing Jesus as a coin, which is really weird, and I don't know. Oh, no, it's Matthew. He's got a coin and he's flicking it. You know, like he has like his finger on it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's doing the thing that Scott taught us about. He's saying, ring the frequency of pure gold throughout the house, and that shall make anything that does not lie in forgiveness fall away. He says each and every individual at this time, because we are visual today, not just audio, we must have each individual do an individual clearing whereby we place a pure gold coin upon their head, and imagine it just being flicked, and it's spinning on your head, and it's emitting the pure frequency of gold. And as it does that, everything, anything that does not resonate with forgiveness, compassion, truth, and love will fall away. And that gold coin is going to spin on your head, down in through your head, down your throat, your chest, your stomach, all the way down to the bottom of your spine. And from there, as you breathe in, it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Breathe out, get bigger and bigger and bigger. until you have this huge golden spinning thing around you. I'm putting it on everybody. Matthew says I'm doing it actually, but well, that's cool. And then we're going to put that gold coin, spinning gold coin around each person's house too, to keep these words pure and true. Because when it comes to us, this is Jesus, when it comes to us and it comes to me, there's so many beliefs that run wild, that things trigger people that they don't even realize. And those thoughts can come in and intercept and block me from saying things that I would like to say. And at this time, the golden brick road of forgiveness is set between this channel and I, and we are ready to speak. So, now you read.
Let's go.
All right.
All right, this is my commentary. We'll get into Jesus. And my commentary was, we manifest our life by how we want to keep our snow globe clean and where we want to place our snow globe. If we want to immerse our snow globe into the muck and the mess and everything else that's around us, then we are consciously allowing ourselves to bring in the darker snowflakes and all the emotions of the world around us. But we can manifest a much cleaner life that allows us to pursue the plan that is within our statute, which is our spirit, which has been set before we were born. By envisioning ourselves rising up with the energy, being above the darkness, and allowing the darkness to see the light above them, which is ourselves.
They want to call that the super spirit, but not necessarily that it needs to go into the book, but just so that we can understand it because of the words that are used, like Holy Spirit, spirit and soul, how they use them all interchangeably. They just want to say the creator spirit or the super spirit that is before we live, and then that puts a little spirit inside of us.
The super spirit puts a little spirit inside of everybody.
Yes.
Okay. And I guess in our own faith, we will manifest the life that our Creator has planned for us to follow. And I said, is that the manifestation that Jesus talks about? And then Jesus comes in and answers. Here's what Jesus had to say. Jesus says, well, yes, but following one's path is very important. And by not only calling in this laser beam light from the Creator self into your statute, not only are you calling... Here's a break.
Papa.
Hi, super spirit. Hey, we're on camera.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, yeah, we're doing channel right now.
Papa.
Hi, buddy.
Okay.
No,
Why
this-
Jeff didn't lock it? I don't know. No, don't jump on Papa.
He just jumped on, no, he just jumped on the microphone too. No, go with your dad. There's your dad. There's your dad.
It's like the fourth time I've intercepted him, so.
Go.
Just-
Be careful.
No. You got coconut water outside.
Ooh, coconut water? Yummy.
Okay, why don't you lock the door?
Oh, well, you can't just hit the little.
It's gonna keep coming, and I can
Just hit the little lock button.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Super rooster. Oh, that was the other rooster. Because Matthew's a rooster too.
Is he really?
Yeah, Jeff and him are both roosters.
Oh my God, you got roosters all over.
I've got
the
roosters
place.
now. I know Anya's a rooster and so is Elaine.
Yeah,
Lots of roosters.
wow.
Anyways, okay.
Okay, let me go back. And I said, is that the manifestation that Jesus talks about? And Jesus came in and said, well, yes, but following one's path is very important. And by not only calling this laser beam light from the Creator self into your statute, not only are you calling in light, but also high frequency energy to blast out the low frequency energy, the low frequency muck that can cause you to perceive life in a way that life really isn't. This is Jesus again. If one is perceiving life through jealous eyes or through defensive eyes, they're always going to think people are attacking them. So their day will be very different from if they were to clear out their snow globe. Let me say that again. So their day will be very different from if they were to clear out their snow globe. When we speak of manifestation, yes, by following the soul's energy, the soul's frequency, the consciousness, or the information from the soul is also being downloaded into the snow globe. So this isn't something that we got into, but it's also allowing people to begin to remember what their path is. Their intuition will get stronger. Their faith will get stronger in their life and in their path. and where they're going and what they need to do. They will just know things. So this is something that, in addition to feeling better, will also bring a closer connection to God and a knowing of what you're here to do. When we speak of manifestation, what we speak of is an exercise that people can do. They can wake up each morning and they can make a list of things that they need to get completed. Now, we will not get into the specifics of how energy works and how beliefs work and how cords work and things like this, but we will discuss cords in this book a little bit more in depth because we spoke of it, about people being connected. But we do not speak of how people bring the same type of person back into their life if they have we will just touch on this really quick.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh, we're not going to talk about it, but we'll mention it, but now we'll just touch on it.
Yeah, he always does that. He says, well, we'll just
this
touch on...
This is Paul talking, actually.
It's Paul? Okay, I thought we've got it as Jesus.
It's back and forth as Jesus and Paul.
Okay. He says, well, we will just touch on this really quick and then go into manifestation and then be done. If you, say, have a cord connected to that first wife with the green, jealous, cheating energy, what will happen, Joe, is she will be gone. Her statue will have moved on. But if you have a cord connected to a snow globe with green, jealous energy, the way the universe works, the way the energy works, and we will not go into the depth of how it works, but we'll just say that you will always pull somebody in with green energy. You will continue to pull people into your life that have green energy. The other option would be that you will pull someone in that doesn't have any green energy, but as soon as you begin to open up to them emotionally, you will think they have green energy. You will think they're going to leave you. You will think they're going to cheat on you. You will think that they're jealous because you're still corded up to this green energy that is feeding into your snow globe. So you're reading this. Then I hopped in and asked a question. I said, does that mean then that I, through that same cord, am sending those same green and red snowflakes through to that person that I've now fallen in love with? And that person will then manifest that life I expected her to do and end up becoming an angry and cheating person when they never even thought of being a cheater. And then Jesus answered. He said, sometimes it can happen like this if one is, he goes, well, let us just say. And I said, in other words, if my energy has forced them to become what I was afraid they were going to become. And Jesus says, yes, exactly. And I said, so how do I cut that cord?
He wants to cut in here real quick. He says, if you have a field of energy connected to a desirable mate, or if you have a field of energy connected to someone that you thought that green energy person was, like your dream person that you want to be with, and you have energy connected to that. So you're trying to pull that in. Usually it's either your father or your mother, because that's what you know to be what a man or a woman is like. And this is why many people will marry their mother or their father the first time, or their first relationship will be like their mother or their father, or someone that they looked up to. The very interesting thing is that if you're still corded to somebody that has a certain profession, a certain personality, a certain way of being, you will continue to attract that same soul into your life, or that same consciousness that rules over that soul into your life, which is why you always attract Eden.
Yeah,
and it's
Eden
always a real estate like Drew's turned into, all of a sudden she wants to do real estate. Yeah. They're saying it's like his energy and his connection to his life mate. It's almost like she's morphed into Mama was in real estate, but she's morphed into kind of this. She loves it, and they're having fun. But they're showing me kind of like, if we have this dream mate, that if things aren't working out for us, and we're maybe on like marriage like 6 or something, or big relationship 6, we can ask that Jesus or our higher self to come in and just completely reprogram our ideal relationship for us, and just trust that it's going to be better than what it is right now, because there's about 5 or 6 people here I think that are getting divorces right now. So they wanted me to share that with you guys. Otherwise, you'll just keep attracting. And if they're nothing like your husband that you're leaving right now, your energy may turn them into your ex-husband, just like I turned Alex into Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I totally turned him into Jason.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that till just now.
You turned Alex into Jason?
Yeah, he was totally like sober, clean, good guy. And the second we got married and kind of like linked souls, boom, he turned into Jason.
Yeah, that was...
Sorry, Alex.
That was tough.
Wow.
Yeah, some really tough life came after that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Jesus says again, and cut in when you have to.
Okay.
I'll repeat this part. He says, all you must do when you connect with the higher self, you must communicate with your higher self that there is a specific thing that you are cutting. You can't just say, cut all my cords, because that'll work for about 1 minute. All your cords will be cut, yes, but it isn't specific enough instruction to your source, your soul, your higher self. And don't forget that your soul, your higher self, will not override your free will. You have to say, and you have to determine who it's to or what it's about. Say, I'm feeling very jealous, and when you're calling in this energy from your soul into your spirit, that's expanding out. While it's expanding out, say, cut any cords that are attached to jealousy. Cut any cords that are attached to relationships where people cheated on me. You don't have to be very ritualistic about this. Just have a conversation with the spirit world above you and say, I need all the cords cut that are connected to someone who cheated on me or somebody who was jealous. Please cut all these cords. And then you can actually, if you're very
Spirit
imaginative,
world around us, not above us. It's like we've got this all mixed up with the up and down thing, but I'll let this one go. But it's the spirit world around us. Didn't he say something about down and up yesterday?
Say that again?
He says the spirit world not above us, but the spirit world around us. We're living in the spirit world right now. We've merged into the spirit world 7 years ago. So we're in the spirit world, and our attempt to get out of the spirit world and into our I am presence is the goal. And we have the ability to do that, but so many are getting sucked into this spirit world because we all have a spirit, we all have emotions, and the emotions are what make us spirit, because when we're souls, we don't have emotions.
Well, this makes sense, and this is something that people can do, especially if they're getting into new relationships or they're just feeling stressed all the time. This is very cool. It just says to talk to God, talk to your spirit, talk to your soul, talk to your higher self, talk to your guides, talk to your ascended masters, whoever it is that you feel is in charge of your life, and we'll just call it the higher self. Says you don't have to be very ritualistic about this. Just have a conversation with the spirit world above you and say, I need all the cords cut that are connected to someone who cheated on me or stole from me.
They can't hear you all of a sudden. Okay, so I wonder why. So can you hear now? So they said you're fading in and out for some reason.
Well, you unplugged that.
I know. Well, I unplugged that for a second, but now, that muted now.
Are you muted?
You silly thing.
Why don't you just leave it in
I
one place?
I did leave it, but they were commenting that you were fading in and out. Okay, can you guys hear him now?
Can you hear me now? Can anybody
They
hear
can
me?
hear you now, yeah.
Okay.
If he starts fading in and out, let me know. I don't know, maybe it was I have no idea because I didn't touch anything, but yeah, just definitely let me know because I definitely want the quality of the audio to be good. We're also recording it on an audio over here, so we can always post that later. But you guys, bad audio is the worst thing in the world when you're trying to listen to something. So, anyways, just let me know.
Well, let me go back and do this again.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to repeat myself here. He says, let's see. You have to say, this is when you're cutting cords. Now I'm going to go back up a ways. It says, you have to say and you have to determine who it's to or what it's about. Say, I'm feeling very jealous, and when you're calling in this energy from your soul into your spirit, that's expanding out. While it's expanding out, say, cut any cords that are attached to jealousy. Cut any cords that are attached to relationships where people cheated on me. You don't have to be very ritualistic about this. Again, this is Jesus talking, as Marisa channeled him. You don't have to be very ritualistic about this. Again, now I'm just going to cut in here again. You don't have to go 5 times a day like the Muslims do and your Islamists, and they get down on prayer rugs 5 times a day and then say they just repeat these same prayers that they've memorized. You don't have to be ritualistic. Just take a second and talk to them. They're around you all the time anyway, because we're all in this video game. And just picture God is watching us on TV. Our soul is watching us on TV.
Rosemary's like,
we're in a movie.
Don't have to be in the movie anymore. This is what we're trying to get out of. She says, we're trying to get out of the movie and everyone's stuck in it. She says, so we have to be aware of when we're being robots, and we have to be aware of when we're being triggered by the same things over and over and over. And if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over, by golly, just stop it. And you can stop it by asking your higher self to make you stop. It's that easy. She's beautiful right now. Wow. Rosemary's like gorgeous. She's like just beautiful, long, dark hair. She looks very like Indonesian or I don't know. She's beautiful. But I see her lower self that I usually see, and I see her middle self that's always talking about how hot Jesus is. But now she's like, you know who she looks like? She looks like Tawny probably when she grows up.
Maybe.
She looks like a grown-up
very
Tawny.
pretty.
Yeah, Tawny's very pretty.
And she's missing 2 teeth, so she looks real funny now.
That's what came into her when she turned 6. Is she got Rosemary as a guide.
Really?
Yeah. That's why she's all into Jesus. Oh my God.
God, Tawny talks to Jesus all the time.
Tawny's obsessed with Jesus, and Rosemary's obsessed with Jesus.
Well, she watches all these Jesus cartoons, so she can talk about Jesus and all his struggles and all his parables and everything. She's just so into it.
I want to have her not watch the cartoons and have her tune in and see if she can talk to him without having any. That's the point. Okay.
And then she has her spirit or her angel is Kaya, and Kaya has been coming into her as long as she can remember.
That's crazy. That's Kaya, because that's mine. That's our earth angel.
And sometimes she'll come in and wake me up in the morning, and she'll go, Papa, I saw Kaya, and Kaya told me to do, and then she'll told me to do this or told me to do that. I said, do you see her? She said, yes. So she still sees Kaya, which is her I think you call it the Holy Spirit.
The Davidic angel of the earth.
The Davidic?
Jesus says Kaya is a Davidic angelic, like she's a spinning force of many that are part of our soul group that have certain personality, and she helps them to continue to survive and exist when they lose hope. And Kaya is a joy guide. She's a joy guide.
Well, you have
music,
Kaya too.
I have Kaya too, yeah.
I think probably everybody within our circle probably have Kaya.
I have like 4 people in the class. There are 2 people that I've met that have Kaya. And I'm always like, oh, you have Kaya.
And then I just picture us in a video game, and our souls are sitting there watching the TV, the video game, and we're down in this movie, in this video game, and they have a controller, and they're using their thumbs, and they're trying to guide us. But if we haven't connected to our soul, and we're just doing everything with our free will, then your soul's going to be flicking around with his thumbs on the controller, and it's not going to connect with you. It's like the phone has been hung up.
Jesus says, I want to make this very clear that Christ is the one with the remote control. The souls all fell into the movie, and the souls are spinning aimlessly, not knowing what to do, and that's why I am here to rescue my children, the souls that I created. So they fell into the movie, this is what we want to call it, and Christ is the one with the remote control. and each and every individual as source, as a spark of light, has the ability to bring themselves into Christ and therefore direct their entire life. And that's what we're going to get to later with the snow globe, by helping to wash away all of the beliefs and ideas and patterns that you're stuck in, so that you can then become the creator of your own reality.
And then if you want to picture it, the way that I teach Tawny is I tell Tawny, I said, Tawny, when you watch your ponies or whatever you want to watch, I can't even think of all her
My
different...
Little Pony,
My Little
LOL
Pony.
Dolls.
Yeah, LOL, whatever. When she's watching that on TV, she's watching them and she's watching what they do, and yes, you try to talk to them, but they can't hear you. And they're talking to you, but you can hear them. And that's the way it is with God. God is watching the TV, and you're in the movie, and so God gets to see everything you're doing, and when you pray to God, He gets to hear you. But when you're ignoring God, He can't hear you, but He can still see you. So you're always in the movie, and God is always watching the TV to make sure that things are going to go okay. And He tries to talk to you, but you don't listen. But when you're
The Holy Spirit
ready,
can see us. God is a soul and can feel us, and that is why we are created in God's own image. God, as a humongous soul, created us in His own image, not as human beings, but as souls. So this is what God created. The Holy Spirit can see, the soul can feel, and then the knowingness comes from the consciousness that travels through the Holy Spirit's eye, down through the mind of God, or the feeling body of God. And this is why souls can feel. This is why we can feel, and this is why souls can be bad or good. They can be dark souls or light souls, because they may choose anger over happiness. And we just want to get the little intricacies worked out, because prior to the 14th of last month, it didn't really matter what you called it, soul, spirit, whatever. But now we've gotten to a point where we are living on a planet whereby many people, if not connected to the proper aspect of themselves, are just dying. They're just choosing to leave and leaving their soul behind. So there's many things going on the planet, and we're going to make it very simple with the snow globe. The snow globe is going to change the world and save the world, because it's just so easy that you don't need to know anything, because we hear your mind thinking those, oh gosh, I got to learn all this new stuff. No, nothing new to learn. It's just the intricacies of all that we may. This is what's his name? James, and it's what's his name? John. And Rosemary's like, on this plane of consciousness, I actually think he's kind of cute. Because we're up at a higher level, and she likes John. She likes John. She usually hates John, doesn't she?
yeah.
She's always like, ugh. She's like, yeah, I think he's kind of cute. He talks a little too much, and I think it's cute. But John's saying there's too many intricacies, too much mind. We don't want any mind to have anything to do with anything. But we are explaining with the mind, because many people have to understand it in order to believe it. There's not many here that have blind faith. There's not many here that can admit that they have 100% blind faith. So this is why we're going to just kind of point a couple of things out, and that's it.
Well, I think people should have faith. I think they don't have to be they don't have to be religious. They don't have to be church going.
I have a hard time with faith.
I think you just have faith. I just have faith that I've got this whole great big team up there, and I'm on the TV, and they all get to be watching what I'm doing. They don't watch me when I go to the bathroom or something like that, but they're watching me in my life.
Peter's like, ha, 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 ha.
And so when I get to, when I'm going into the shopping center, I go, okay, Eden, get me a good parking spot. And I'll be doggone, I always get a front spot when I talk to Eden. And so it's like they're all there, they're all watching. And if you don't turn your little computer on, you're not connected. You have to give your will over to God, over to your soul, to guide you through the day. And that's not hard to do. All you do is you say, okay, God, I freely give you my will today. Let your will be done in my life. That's it. That's it. Go about your day. You can do that as you're getting out of bed in the morning. In fact, that's what I told Holly to do. I told her to try it for 7 days, and it changed her life.
They're saying
Because God then talks to you, and you pick up God's words, whether it's, I'm calling God as your team.
yeah.
When I say God, I'm not referring to a person or the Father. I'm talking to your team. And so your team is going to talk to you. And it's your intuition that picks up on what they're saying. So you follow your intuition.
Your intuition is the highest state of consciousness that we have, and they're saying that it's attached to the eye, just an eye, like a big eye in the sky. But they're saying that if you allow for your team or for all aspects of your heavenly team to view through your eyes and help you as the human ego or the human that you are, help to regulate what you see, that your life will completely change 100%. Like not only just giving your will and your life over to God, but you can say, I ask that the Holy Spirit, or I ask that God or my team or my guides view through my eyes and help to regulate what I see, so that I may have a day that's filled with happiness and I'm not defensive and angry or whatever it is that you're dealing with. Because they can't see through us unless we let them see through us. Then they can't see through us unless we let them see through us.
They can't see through our eyes without
our permission, no.
Without giving them.
Yeah, we have to give them permission to see through our eyes. Otherwise,
so that they can guide us.
Yes, they can guide us. Otherwise, they're blind and they're just going on feeling, and our feelings are so distorted and so blown out of whack that it's almost impossible for them to guide us and lead us unless we go into this unemotional mental state of meditation. But if we allow them to see through our eyes, they can help to regulate what we see and then change our reality. That's really cool. Maybe that's why I always see I'll see Brian or people that have passed. I see them up with microscopes looking down through a tube. Mm-hmm. It's probably completely dark until we say his higher self. Until Brian said, "Okay, God, you can look through my eyes." Then maybe his higher self could have been oh yeah, he's in danger. We got to turn him this way or go that way. Otherwise, they have to send angels down.
Yeah, we read that angels can show up as humans. They can come down temporarily and take on human form. I've seen an angel, Marisa, they're in our books.
Yeah.
I've seen an angel, Marissa's seen an angel. We didn't know they were angels until later when we realized, oh my gosh, we just talked to somebody that just disappeared.
In that movie Soul, the guy's a sign spinner, and they said angels show up as guys asking for cigarettes and sign spinners.
Yeah, the guy that came to me had you know how people used to carry their cigarettes in their top pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just walked up and he had cigarettes in his top pocket. And I had just quit smoking, so I was going to give him a carton of cigarettes after talking to him. And I said, hang on, let me give you these cigarettes. He said, no, I don't need them. I said, no, let me give them to you because I want to get rid of them. So I turned away from him. I lifted up the trunk of my car, went through all my junk, and way up in the very back was this carton of cigarettes. So I grabbed the carton, turned around, he was gone. And I mean gone. Nowhere to be seen. I was sitting out in a half-filled parking lot at the upper... I
remember that day. I was at the office and you went, this guy just disappeared.
Yeah, it was the upper parking lot at Ralph's. And yeah, he was gone. I turned around, he was gone. And I looked everywhere. I got down on my knees and looked under cars see if I could see feet. And he was just gone. Then I got in my car and I drove all around the parking lot looking for him. Couldn't find him.
Oh, that's crazy.
He was just
And my
gone.
angel was a sign spinner that had me go in, and she looked like a bum holding a sign that said, houses starting at $579, and that's how much I bought my house for, and that's where I met Jeff.
Yeah. And then the people there said, no, we don't have anybody out there with a sign.
We've never had a sign holder. We've never had a sign holder before. So it's the angels intervene. But then on that movie, The Soul by Disney, the guy that actually channels the souls and goes and helps them fix everything is a sign spinner. Oh. Remember the guy's going hey, and his boss keep spinning the sign. He's oh, okay. But he's this shaman on the side, and he's a sign spinner by day. I don't know if you guys have seen Soul by Disney, but yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
Well, I'm going to read this part again, just so
Okay.
I can get on to the next part.
I'm going to turn that light on because it's going to get dark in here.
Again, he says, you don't have to be very ritualistic about this. Just have a conversation with the spirit world above you and say, I need all the cords cut that are connected to someone who cheated on me or somebody who was jealous. Please cut all these cords. And then you can actually, if you're very imaginative, you'll actually be able to feel or sense where the cord was. And you'll actually visualize seeing a cord on the outside of your snow globe being cut. And then I said, is this something I have to do every day? And Jesus said, no. This is just when things start to come up. He said, no, this is just when things start to come up. Let's say that you're in a relationship now with your girlfriend, and you begin to fear that she's going to leave you, or you're going to fear that she's with somebody else. You can call in this laser beam energy and ask that any cords that you have that may have gone back to past relationships, which brought on a lot of jealous energy because of, say, your mother, this energy was in your field, which may have manifested the relationships that you manifested because of the situation between your parents,
Oh,
one going out on the other.
good point.
So this energy was in your
Grandma
field.
Betty just smacked Grandpa Joe's head.
Yeah.
I just saw them and she went like this to him. Smack.
Should I read that again?
Yeah, that was
He
interesting.
says, no, this is just when things start to come up, that you need to talk to the spirit world and get that snow globe set up and built around you, and to cut those cords. So he says, no, this is just when things start to come up. Let's say that you're in your relationship now with your girlfriend and you begin to fear that she's going to leave you, or you're going to fear that she's with somebody else. You can call in this laser beam energy and ask that any cords that you have that may have gone back to past relationships, which brought on a lot of jealous energy because of, say, your mother. This energy was in your field, which may have manifested the relationships that you manifested because of the situation between your parents, one going out on the other. So this energy was in your field. So this may have attracted that type of person to you. So the way the energy works is it goes back and forth between the people. There is nobody at fault and nobody to blame. Energy is just energy. And this is the whole reason behind a spirit wanting an earthly human experience. It's just fun because we don't know what's going to affect us. But now that the vibration of the planet has gone up, we have more control over these energies. And this is what we were going on, and this is what we were going in to teach people in the Bible days, in the days of my ministry. And that was Jesus. He says, we were teaching people how to fill themselves with the Holy Spirit. Fill themselves with the Holy Spirit, which would push out and dissolve the negative human emotions. Forgiveness, which would push out the pain and would cause them to have more compassion for each other. Do unto others what you would have them do unto you. This, the snow globe, is the whole basis of my teachings. And I said, wow, that makes sense. And Jesus came back and said, this is my teachings. The snow globe is the basis of my teachings. If everybody could just understand this simply, not everybody's problems are going to go away. They're still going to have their own energy. They're still going to have their own issues, their own beliefs, their own things that they need to work on. But people have enough issues on their own within themselves. They don't need other people's issues on them too. So Joe, and this is Jesus continues. So Joe, if you are starting to feel insecure about your girlfriend, you feel as if she is being distant, or you feel as if she's thinking of somebody else, or wanting to leave, this may be energy from an old relationship that you may still be corded to. Sometimes you can cut a cord and it will be gone forever. Other times you may have hundreds.
It grows right back.
Yeah, other times you may have hundreds of cords to that person. And let us just say one of the cords is to my last ex leaving. One of the cords is to her meeting somebody else. One of them is to her being controlling. One of them is to her looking down on you. One of them is to her not respecting you or not believing in you and not relying on you and trusting you. So you have all these different things that are kind of corded to this one person. But they are separate traits and different colored snowflakes. So when you start to get upset inside, before getting upset outwardly or getting insecure, you can stop. Connect with your snow globe and ask that any energies that are causing you to feel this way be cut and removed. And once a snow globe, once your energy, your light energy within you has expanded out to the size of your snow globe, you know it's done. And really, truly, and we don't need to put this in the book because we don't want people that are not Christians and not into Jesus and all of us. And then Peter's like, yeah. But what it is it's me coming in, Jesus, and I'm doing this for you. I am the one who is doing the clearing. I'm cleaning, I'm cleansing, and also, so are all your guides. So really, all of us are the ones that are in here. So the only job you have is the visualizing of the light, expanding, and just knowing that it will be done. And then we handle the rest.
They have a new parable.
Go for it.
Jesus says, got a new parable. And this has to do a lot with, he keeps drawing like a line in the sand. And he keeps saying there's two realities that you can live in. So you can live in the reality, did he talk about this yesterday, with a fruit bowl, and then there's a bowl with like bones in it?
Yeah,
he
you were talking about that.
The fruit bowl. The fruit bowl is fruitful. There's the nourishment and the nurturing of that fruit. But if you let it go old, it gets fermented and it's not tended to. It's not eaten. It just goes bad. It's wasted. He says this is like a relationship. This is like a memory. He says memories are toxic to the human mind because memories get fermented. Memories are like, say, an orange or an apple or a banana. You remember a relationship and you go, oh yeah, that banana that I was with, oh the banana, this, and we did this, and that. So you have this banana tree. And let's say that represents your connection to a past partner, work, friendship, love, and any sort of relationship. So I don't even know if bananas are trees, but the bananas, this represents a type of relationship that you have. If you don't tend to that type of relationship, then the fruit just falls and it begins to ferment, and then you get the shadow side of a relationship, or you get the shadow aspect of it. So God needs to be in your relationships. God is the nourishment that keeps the trees alive and keeps things flourishing and keeps things going. And if you don't nourish a relationship the same way that you nourish yourself, you need to look at a relationship almost like a separate person, like a separate being. And in that relationship, if it's not nurtured, it will die. And then you'll have a dead tree, and you'll have all these dead fruits inside of you. And that's when all of the little weeds and the cords start extending out because they're trying to find nourishment. They're trying to find nourishment. So let's say that one of your relationships was an apple tree. And that apple tree represented you both had knowledge and hope for the future, and there was grace, and you were attracted to each other, and you were funny. Those little cords to the dead apples that are inside of you, because you didn't nurture this relationship, or you abandoned it, or you left it, they're going to reach out and look for that. But because those are old and they are decrepit, they're not very smart. They're going to reach for the exact opposite. They're going to reach for the shadow side of things, so that you'll experience that shadow side and go, oh God, I can't handle being in a relationship with a stupid person that's not funny, that I don't have a good time with. And it's going to be all the opposite. So it'll force you to look for something that's good. If you had something that was good, but you didn't nurture it with God or with love or with an understanding that it's not just you and the person in the relationship, it's you, the person, and the God energy in the relationship. And this is the thing that's missing from many relationships. And we're not saying that everyone has to pray together or they have to have ceremonies together or even go to church together, but just an understanding that the relationship is its own being, and you can't control another person. You can only control yourself, but you can ask that the relationship, just like a tree, be nurtured by God, and you will see that your family tree, so to speak, you can ask that be nurtured by God, and you can make your family tree into a snow globe, and you can clear that, and that will help to get families in the same rhythm, thinking the same way, in the flow with each other, and they'll get along much better, because there's so many families that are falling apart. The generation that is Generation A and Generation Z are looking upon the older generations as if they are the stupidest people on the planet. This is something that we are saying because this is something that you may not see, but you're going to begin to see this in the next few years, that the younger children of the planet are going to not respect the older people on the planet because they're going to look at them as apes, in a sense. They're going to look at them as like unevolved man. So nourishing yourself in your relationship with your children, relationship with the world is very, very important right now, because there's people that are stuck in a rut, stuck in their old tree, stuck in their dead tree, and they're not changing their beliefs or their ideas, and they're only attracting to them negativity. So we will do an exercise, but we'll do it later, and it's about nourishing your tree. So you'll become a tree. Oh, we'll just say now, you become your tree that represents your entire reality. And then once you become that tree, you say this tree is now a snow globe, and you imagine a snow globe around it. And then you just ask for the nourishment from God to come in through the roots of the tree and nourish the entire tree. And then you ask for the laser from Christ, from the Holy Spirit, from your Creator, to come from above and to clear out your entire snow globe. So there's two aspects of this. This right here will change your reality like this. It'll change it so fast that you will not even, speaking of family tree, here comes my family. Hey.
We're heading out.
Okay.
I want to make green beans and cheese quesadillas for dinner.
Rooster. Say rooster. Okay. I'll clean all this up, don't worry.
This is off limits.
I know it is. Go ahead and take it. Don't
Okay.
touch it for too long.
I won't touch it. I'm just going to put it back in the garage.
Okay.
And what time are you back?
What time do you need us?
Well, I mean, it'd be nice to hang
Like
out.
45?
What's that?
45 an hour?
An hour? Sure.
Okay,
That's
alright.
cool. It's 5:30.
We'll shoot for an hour, yeah.
Like 6:30?
6:45, so, yeah.
I have to leave at 8 o'clock. So.
I know.
Alright.
Okay, alright, okay. Love you.
Love you too. Make sure to lock up.
I will.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Here's Jeff.
Did you knock us off?
No, can you hear us? Can I repeat the exercise? I don't even know what I said.
We're going to get into an exercise. He was talking
This is all
about,
recorded, so.
he was explaining us as a tree.
Oh, interesting. Well, because that's what we become after we're metal. We're a metal statue, and then we become a tree. And after the tree, we're just water.
Well, should I go on?
Yeah, keep on going, because we got Jeff. We're on Jeff time now, because he has to go to work tonight.
Okay, I asked the question. I said, when you say it is I, Jesus, doing this, is that through your surrogate, the soul? I mean, if there are 1 million people all talking to you at the same time saying, clean out my snow globe, clean out my snow globe, are they really talking to you? Or are they talking to your creation, which is each person's soul?
Interesting.
And Jesus answered. He said, yes, you're talking to the creator of that which I am, which is Christ. That is the 9th layer of us. The Christ light. We were talking about the 8th and 9th layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the 9th layer of us. The Christ light that comes in and does all of this. But understand, when you connect with your soul, all of your guides are alerted. and I am your personal master guide. Every human has a master guide. Jesus is not everyone's guide. There are thousands of masters that are here helping the human souls they are assigned to.
There's only 163 of them now.
So I think probably in a future book, I think they said that.
Oh, they
it's
did?
down to 163 master guides on the earth.
Are the rest of them fallen?
I don't know.
They just left.
I don't know. We'll have to ask.
They said they just left. Only 163 are hanging in there.
He said, not everyone's guide. There are thousands of masters that are here helping the human souls they're assigned to. So I specifically will help you. This is Jesus. So if you don't know what's wrong, if you say, I don't know who this cord is connected to, I don't know what's going on. Maybe you got off the phone with a client who's going through financial issues, and now all of a sudden you're so worried about money. But this person didn't talk to you about worrying about money. Now you're worrying about money. Now you're wondering if you should ever be in this relationship with this person. And do they need you to take care of them? And you start worrying about things that you would never worry about. You can just connect in with your snow globe. And as it's expanding out, just say, cut any cords to anything that's causing this worry. Cut any cords to anything that's causing this drama within my mind. And you will feel a release. You will feel a release. You don't need to know what was connected, is our point. You don't need to know what it was connected to. And I said, I'm picturing my guide, my angels with brooms in their hands, sweeping these dirty snowflakes out of my snow globe.
It's the crew.
Yeah, my dean.
No, they were called the Universal Cleanup Crew.
Oh, okay.
That's funny that you saw them. Yeah, they're called the Universal. If you don't know who to call in, you say, calling in the Universal Cleanup Crew to clear my house and clear my energy now. Thank you. And these guys come in, they sweep, and they do all that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's Peter. Peter's come in, Peter says, and this is what we're doing. He says, and this is what we're doing. Peter, we're getting rid of those. We are cleaning house. We are cleaning house because it is time to clean the house of the earth plane because the earth plane is dirty. Emotions everywhere. No one knows who they belong to. Everybody is blaming everybody for everything else. Look at your relationship. Look how shut down your girlfriend was until she saw that you were a good man with a child. This child changed your relationship because prior to this, she was with men who left. She was with men who did not like children, who did not want to be responsible with children. So she still saw you as them because she was corded to them.
I forgot about that. I just have to share Peter really quick. Peter has a tied thing around his head and he's going, and he's got a duster and he's like feather dusting your face and mine and everybody's, and he's like dancing and he's got like earbuds, and I'm like, what is Peter doing? He's acting like he's like a I said, Peter, are you acting like a gay guy? And he goes, no, I'm acting like a housekeeper. And he's like, he's cleaning house, but there's like all these people all around cleaning, and he says, just call in your housekeepers. Don't make it so official. He says everyone tries to make it so official. Just call in your spiritual housekeepers and they'll clean up for you and just know it's done. Okay, go ahead. But he's just cracking me up right now.
Okay, again, this is and Peter's talking about me because I went into a relationship with Drew, and we were seeing each other as boyfriend, girlfriend, when all of a sudden her daughter had a baby at the age of 17, and she abandoned the child. She abandoned the child with Drew and I. She just left. She just left when Tawny was about 8 months old. She really emotionally had cut herself from Tawny even before that, because she started sneaking out, going out to parties and things, and leaving Tawny with somebody to take care of her. So anyway, so I had to make a decision. I loved this child. I loved Tawny, but did I really want to become a father again? I mean, at 65, when Tawny was born, I'm going to be a father again? So what happened was Drew expected me to leave because all her men, whenever she had a child, she had 3 children, all of them, all the men in her life left as soon as the children came along. So she expected me to leave because that was what was in her snow globe. But Marisa, you're going to pull everything off.
Yeah, your phone's about to die. I'm going to plug it in though.
But when I stayed, it basically cleaned that out of her snow globe. And that's what Peter's referring to.
I totally forgot about that. Wow.
He says, this child changed your relationship because prior to this, she was with men who left. She was with men who did not like children, who did not want to be responsible with children. So she still saw you as them because she was courted to them. When this channel, Marisa, did the healing on your girlfriend 6 months ago and cut all the cords, your girlfriend began to see you for you, even though she still had a belief that men leave when kids are coming into her life. When she saw you were good with her grandchild, the cord cut itself. It dismissed itself because that belief system that she had was now eradicated from her field. So sometimes cords will heal themselves. Other times the pesky cords will keep bringing the same thing back into your life. But then you have to ask yourself, was she really with men that didn't like kids? Or did she just think it so that she left before the kids came into the picture? It started because the first man she was with and courted to didn't want a child. Because this is what was happening. When she had to start raising her abandoned grandchild, she and you split up because of the way she pushed you away. Because in her mind, she was reading the cord that she had to the person she was with that didn't want to be with her, with a child. Does this make sense? That's what Peter's asking me. I said, this makes sense. Things really changed when she saw how much I cared for her grandchild, Tony, who we're now attempting to adopt together. Okay, I think that kind of wraps up the manifestation, I hope. Jesus jumped in. He said, no. With manifestation, what we like is we want to give everybody something really fun to do with their snow globe. Everybody thinks emotions are great and feeling good. Yes, this is the end. I asked, is this the epilogue? Is this the ending? You said, yes, this is the end. This is an exercise that we can put in the beginning. I said, and who is this coming from? Is this Peter or Jesus? And Marisa jumped in and said, this is Jesus and Peter together. They're kind of like going back and forth, like they're singing a song.
This is where I sort of Amadeus. Who's Amadeus?
Amadeus, that's, gosh, I can't remember.
You don't know who Amadeus is?
Yeah, I remember Amadeus, but I don't remember Amadeus. In other words,
Amadeus is here.
I finished up and I said, so this is the epilogue to the book, to the Snowglobe book? And I guess that was yes.
But they have they have 3 exercises. Oh, he's a composer. Okay, so Amadeus is here, and I think of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, where they're like, Amadeus, that song. But what they're saying right now, and what they want to do with the manifestation thing, is they want to make it very, 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 very crystal clear. They want to call this a crystal clear snow globe, in that people make their manifestations a separate snow globe from them. That the things that they want to create, that they're not them anymore. Because when we make the things that we want us, then we make those things unworthy. Like, because nobody ever feels worthy. This is, who's talking? It's Amadeus is talking. He says, it is like this. Oh God, no, I'm not going to talk like you do, okay? Just talk normal, and I'll channel you. Oh, okay, he says, life must be directed, and life must be designed. He says, all of you are life designers, planners. You're delegators too, but that's what your guides are for. But we've come to a point, a breaking point, where you can either be in the movie or you can make the movie. You can be the mind that thinks things up
and within seconds they happen, and you can be in the human fear body that is just being toted along by whatever it is that you are creating at a higher level. Everybody in this room, everybody that's listening to this now and in the future, has the ability to go beyond the creator self that we speak of in this channel's book, go beyond the creator self and go into the presence that they are. But they must be in the present. And you must know and understand and feel what it would feel like to have something that you want. And this is where people get hung up on. They say, okay, I am present in presence. I am present in God's presence, or I am present in presence. And I'm clear, and I'm crystal clear about the fact that I want this house, or I want this weight. I want to weigh 130 pounds, or I want to weigh this. You must make that into a snow globe. Say, that is now a snow globe. And then take that in your hand and pull it into your heart and say, show me what it would feel like to have this. Show me what it would feel like to have this, and allow me to experience having this now from this point of view. And most of you will run so fast that you won't even understand why. I thought I wanted that. I thought I wanted that. I thought I wanted it. The reason why you're not getting what you want is because you don't really want it. The things that you want are not what you want. You think you want them because you've been told you want them, or because you've told yourself for so long that you want them, that you must reassess what you want to manifest in your life, because you're going to be creating it instantly. You can put it off on that greater aspect of you, which is just a different part of the brain. You're either creating from the amygdala, which is the fear body, or you're creating from the cerebral fluid that flows through the mind, and that the fluid and the plasma, that is you. You are the fluid that runs through your body, the blood that pulses through your veins, that goes through your heart. That's your consciousness. But as you create, you must understand that you can create now with purpose, and you can actually ask a snow globe, say, show me a crystal clear snow globe that's completely clean and cleansed and clear in front of me. Or allow me to feel what that feels like if you can't see. Or actually hold the snow globe in front of you. And say, the snow globe now represents what it is exactly that I want, but do not know that I want. Pull that into your heart and say, please show me what that feels like. When you feel that peace, when you feel that settling within yourself, now ask, what was it that I just pulled into me? I literally just heard a log cabin in rural Idaho. I don't want to live in a log cabin in rural Idaho.
I know somebody who did, Randall. Randall
Is
told
she a
her,
Cancer snake?
she's just the same double sign as you. She's 12 years older than you. Yeah, she sold her house right here in this development, and they moved to Idaho. And then she liked it until the winter time came, so they bought a mobile home in Fallbrook. So they come and stay at Fallbrook every once in a while,
Snakes stay in the mobile home.
and then go back to Idaho.
I literally just heard, because when I saw it crystal clear and I pulled into me, and I felt so relaxed, and I felt so happy, and I was rolling around playing with the kids, and I had another kid. And then it's like I was just so happy, and it was a log cabin in rural Idaho, but it was huge.
Interesting, you may end up in Idaho.
Well, I have to create that. So Jesus says this is the whole meaning of this exercise, because you don't realize what you want, because from the time you're born, you're told what you're going to be, who you're going to be, what your intentions of this life is, what college you're going to go to, what job you're going to have. And then you're influenced by the media, your friends, what's cool, what's not cool. And then you feel pinned into a certain thing. But what if you want something that you don't even know exists yet? This is this crystal clear manifestation exercise whereby you ask the snow globe that is crystal clear in front of you, the thing that you want that you don't know that you want. You pull that into you, ask to see what it feels like, and then once you're feeling the peace, say, what did I just pull into me? Yeah, it was a rural log cabin in Idaho would probably be interesting instead of a hot spring.
Okay, I got a choice. I can jump forward. I can read a note from Marisa. There is a 3-page exercise.
There's no
I'd rather not go.
If there's no channeled stuff,
But
let's just
we
read
do have the channeling on the exercise. So this is Jesus on the exercise to manifest with your snowglobe. And for the transcriber, we've now jumped up to page 80. All right, this is Jesus. Jesus says, and once again, this was, when did we do this? This was in April of 2016. Jesus says, this is an exercise in which we would like you to either put in the beginning of the book or the end of the book. We can mention it in the beginning of the book and say, at the end of the book is an amazing manifestation exercise. What we would like for people to do is, in the morning, decide what they want and write it down. If they want to go to the gym, they want to go to the gym for 45 minutes. They want to have a lunch break where they get to enjoy themselves and not worry about work. They want to make 5 extra deals more than they usually do. They want to make $2,000 extra. Whatever it is, then just write it down. They're going to write this down on a piece of paper. As they write these things down on a piece of paper, what they're going to do is to imagine their tasks as a ball. This ball in their hand is a solid ball of energy. And this is now all the things that they want to get completed. Once they have filled their snow globe with light, once they have connected with their soul, all they must do is imagine that that ball, which represents all of the things that they want to get done, now comes in from the outside of the snow globe into their hand. And just imagine sitting with the ball in their hands until it dissolves. Once that ball dissolves, what has happened is, let us just say that someone says, I want to make $10,000 this month in extra income. So they write that down. They imagine that desire as the ball. They pull this ball into their snow globe and they wait for it to dissolve. What is happening is anything that is keeping them from making the $10,000 is now being cut. As long as it's for their highest and best good. If it's not for their highest and best good, it isn't going to happen. So this is the beauty of it, because we're using the Christ light. We're using God's love and commitment to his children to help them manifest whatever they want. Someone may have a block that says, if I get rich, I will lose all my money. So maybe they have a cord attached to that belief that keeps them from making money. So when they pull this ball into their snow globe and it then dissolves, what is really happening is the guides, the angels, the higher self are cutting cords that are keeping them from making this money. Or maybe they have an ex-wife that they pay alimony to, and their belief is, if I make more money, I will only have to give her more money. So they'll cut the cord to the wife. So you don't need to know what the cords are. You don't need to know what they're about. Just pulling in this ball into their snow globe, letting it dissolve so that it is basically attuning them to what they want. Somebody wants to lose 45 pounds. I want to lose 45 pounds. They need to be specific. I want to lose 45 pounds in 5 months. They can pull that into their field, let it dissolve, and it's fine. They don't need to ever do it again. But write down the things that you pull into your snow globe so you can see when they come true. You don't have to revisit them for them to manifest, but it is nice to revisit the list to see what has come into existence, because it's easy to forget how powerful we are. And when one sees all of their desires coming into their life, it is empowering. It's just like prayers. You don't need to say the same prayers over and over and over, but if you acknowledge when they come to pass and say thank you, it is also empowering. Many he talks to me and he says, Joe, if you want your fiance to be over here in the United States, you can say, me and my fiance in the United States, and put it into a ball, and pull it into your field, and let it dissolve. And all the cords that are blocking will be cut. And as long as it's for your highest and best good, it will happen. You know what? I did that, but she's never been able to come.
But
So
Joe
it's
Biden
obviously.
got elected president, so maybe you cut in the cord and made Joe Biden come as president. He says, open the borders!
She want to go sit in some caged place.
Can you guys hear? Can you guys still hear? Okay, cool. I mean, somebody said still out for me, so I didn't know what you meant by that. Okay.
Are we muted?
Nope, we're fine. I can definitely.
We're getting to the end.
Oh, wait, now it's really just now, just when I clicked that.
Are you still muted?
It's reloading here. There, no. We're good?
Can you hear me? Can they hear
Yeah,
me?
they can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, we're coming to the end.
Yeah.
Jesus goes on, he says, many people can manifest the things that they want just by doing this exercise, and this is why we say that this exercise will make this book very, very popular, because it will lead into other books on manifestation using the snow globe. And I said, thanks, Jesus. And then Peter came in and said, there will be many books on how to use the snow globe to do different things. The snow globe will be very famous, very popular, and because of this, all of your other books will be in demand as well. People will learn of all your other books and they will respect you guys. And you will start to heal the planet using a snow globe. How beautiful is that?
They said, and how beautiful is this? This is what Peter says. He goes, the water book is the snow globe book. He says just to use the snow globe, that last part as the water book, and tell Bill to send it out. Because Bill's freaking out about the water book.
Okay.
Just make a circle on the, put answer, they said put answers heaven speaks, the circle on the front, the answer heaven speaks cover on the water book, make that the poster, put the manifestation exercise in there, and follow the book, water.
Okay, I've got an epilogue is what I have to say, and then there was also that note from you. Otherwise, if we don't read that, we're done.
Okay, let's let them channel and see if anybody has any questions, because you don't need the notes from us and, or the epilogue, whatever I'm saying here. The water book is done, by the way, you guys. Bill wrote it, and it's so mainstream that I can't even read it. I was supposed to give it to my dad to read, and I forgot to send it over to him. If anyone wants to read it, let me know, I'll send it over to you. It's done and ready to go, and I just can't pull the trigger on it. So this is, Mary Magdalene, is here? Yeah, I haven't seen her for a long time. Mary Magdalene, okay, cool, I'll send it to you guys. Mary Magdalene is coming in like a wave of like that bacon that I usually see. I see bacon, I think she's an astral being, and I think she might be part of me. But she's coming in kind of like this, and she says, the waves of life, they ebb and they flow. As you stand upon the ocean floor, and you watch as the low tide takes away the sand, you know that the waves are going to come back at you, and they may come back bigger, they may come back smaller, but you always know that everything's going to get taken away again. So when you are feeling as if life is overwhelming, when you're feeling as if there's too much to handle, you must understand that water is cleansing. Water will take away your woes, that it will take away the things that burden you. So you may imagine yourself on a beach with it's like the ball and the chain, with chains around your ankles. You're bound to your beliefs, you're bound to your ideas, you're a prisoner to your soul's agenda prior to entering this world. All of you have an aspect of your soul that should have been shed between 27 and 33. That piece of your soul was the created soul, it was the template, it was the guiding force, because if you were teenagers and you were in your younger years and you knew your God consciousness, you would wreak havoc on the world. So the soul keeps you padded from knowing who you truly are. But around age 32, 33, 34, this is when you can become your Christ self. And this is what Earth just became. It became its Christ self. So the Earth being its Christ self means that anything it creates was not in resonance with its Christ self, meaning forgiveness, love, compassion, chose to stay with the old earth and chose to go back to the earth so that it could then rise from the earth and live again in that type of reality. We're going to go through an 18-year, that's actually 18-year period at this time. This 18-year period is going to be a time that every soul is wanting to live for, because it's the land of, or the world of the Christ or the Antichrist. So when you begin to feel bound, imagine yourself on a beach, and imagine that God, the Father, is that body of the ocean, is the ocean, and it's flowing and it's reflecting. When you look upon it, you reflect. It looks almost like a mirror when the sun shines down on it. Think of the ocean as being able to come away and wash away those locks that you have around your ankles, keeping you tied to the old earth. You want for everyone to let fear go. She's starting to cry. She says, we want for everybody to let fear go. You are also afraid. She says, I don't get emotional unless I have to enter into these planes, and I don't enter into these planes often. And the reason why I've entered into these planes is because I am so many of your guides. I am all of your guides. And she went like this. And high five, even like her meeting, like buddies. She says, nice to see you, sister, and they like linked hands. She says, I am a lot of your guides, and you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. And you must listen now. Get out of the need for fear. You're addicted to it. You love it. You love it. You seek it out. You look for it. And if you can't find fear, you'll just create it. You'll just create it in your life, and you'll go, oh, I'm so worried that my child's going to have this, or I'm so worried about this, or I'm so... Please, 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 mark my words. Mark my words right now. Fear will kill you. Worry will kill you. Guilt will kill you. And we want to all be alive right now. This is the time of being alive. We are finally alive. We have risen from the ashes. We've risen from the water. We've risen from Leviathan and all of the evil beings that live within the sea. We have risen up just as Jesus walked on water. We are all walking on that water now. We are all living without fear. But the second you fall into fear, you're like Peter, into the water. So ask that you be risen up. And when you feel as if you are literally bound to the earth and you're sinking into the water, ask that the ocean or ask that water come and rinse away those chains. But in order for it to work, you must imagine you're in a snow globe. The reason why the snow globe is the snow globe is because it's a morphic field of energy. It's not really a snow globe. It's a field of energy that's programmed like your computer boxes are programmed with hard drives, with software. So this snow globe, when you say, I am a snow globe now, or I am now a snow globe, you're connecting in with a massive healing force of energy that has been created to release fear, release anger, release pain, and to bring you into a state of consciousness where you can create whatever it is that you want to create. And the snow globe will not allow you to create something that's not for your highest and best good. It'll just dissolve it, and you'll get something that is for your highest and best good, so it can't harm anyone. It can't hurt anyone, like many of these other modalities can. If you were to just say, I'm my higher self, and I'm standing on the ocean and washing away these locks and chains on my ankles, and I'm going to manifest a Lamborghini, that may not be for your highest and best good. That may not be for your highest and best good, but it will happen because you're living in a quantum reality. You're living in a reality where your thoughts are manifest instantly. So protect yourself with the field of the snow globe. And it doesn't have to look like a snow globe. This is just the word that we use, and it's just the word that we chose, a snow globe, because it's easy. And understanding that Peter was, and it's quite marketable too, and he's holding up snow globes going, buy one of our snow globes at www.fitnessmuseum.com. She says, Peter, and she like pushed him aside, and he was sorry, Mary. I've never seen him say sorry to anyone before. I'm scared of her. And Mary says, your emotions and your feelings are running away with all of you, and all of you, everyone here, is allowing for fear or the fear of not being in control to burden you right now. So what we'd like to do today is we'd like to release release the burden of fear from each and every one of your chests right now. For fear shrouds you, and rather than wearing the armor of God, or the armor of the mother, the father, armor of spirit, you're wearing the armor of fear. You're shielding yourselves with fear, saying, okay, if I'm fearful enough, nobody will attack me. That's the way that many people will avoid being attacked. A victim will look even more victim-like, so the person that's about to hit them won't hit them because they're already down. And this is how much of the earth is right now, and many of you can resonate with this. Understand that when you ask to have the armor of Christ, the armor of God, the armor of your Holy Spirit placed around you, you cannot be hurt because you will exist in a higher frequency, and that's just all there is to it. Just like cancer can't exist in an alkaline environment, just like darkness cannot exist in light, when you have the armor of God on you, you cannot get sick, and you cannot fall into fear. You cannot fall into fear. And allow that armor to be your snow globe. Allow that to be your snow globe. So right now, at this moment, close your eyes. Imagine yourself sitting where you are right now, and actually feel what it feels like to be you, from your head all the way down to your toes. Mindfully bring yourself to your entire body, feeling every cell, every particle, feeling the vibration of your body. You can place your hands in prayer position and feel the heat between your hands. You can feel the energy that you are. And as you do this, actually imagine a big bubble of perfect light coming from above you, from below you, and in front of you and behind you. And these are the angelic forces that are still, quote unquote, good in your life. Imagine these spheres above, below, in front, and behind you. Ask them to merge now within you. And ask that this merging of these four spheres go into your heart, where you are all now attuned to the new snow globe. Anyone who reads in your book will read too, but we would like for each of you to imagine the actual snow globe in your heart each day and say, show me my heart. Make it into a snow globe. Show me what it looks like. Show me what my heart looks like right now. And you will see that many times it'll be darkened. And when your heart is darkened, you cannot receive life through the light of God. You cannot receive life. You can't forgive. You get angry, and you don't have energy. Your spirit can't spring. You must allow for your spirit to spring. And as it springs, it conducts energy, and you become your own energy source. When your heart gets hardened and darkened, you don't spring. So you pull from your children, you pull from other people, you pull from institutions, you pull from media, you pull from anything you can. You steal the energy of other people around you so that you can feel alive again. And that aliveness is anger. Because just as we said yesterday, anger and self-righteousness is the most alive feeling that you can feel, other than feeling courage and love and gratitude and faith. They are the same feeling, just different sides of the spectrum. So turning your heart into a snow globe each day, we want for each of you in this class to do this and to report back and to share with each other what you're experiencing. If you cannot visualize that or imagine it, you'd like to do this. Take a glass of water, say this water now represents a snow globe, and just imagine a perfect, bright, clean snow globe. Let it sit for about a minute, drink it, and then just know that you've been cleared. And that's it. That's it. Just know that the water is clear of you. You don't have to see it. Or when this channel's been Uncle Randy was sick, this would have helped with this channel's uncle. But he couldn't even imagine the snow globe around him. He couldn't imagine anything. But if you can just imagine that your water is being cleansed and cleared and is bright, pristine, bright white light that you can barely even look at, and you drink that, that will go into your system, and that alone, that liquid will clear you completely. Knowing and understanding that will bring clairvoyance to many of you. For many of you are drawing down in the lower planes. And none of this needs to necessarily go into the book other than the exercises. This is more of a talking to some of the people here that know that they should be doing more than what they're doing, and rather they're hiding in their homes. They're leaders, they're game changers, seed planters, and rather they're making a drama in their minds so that they can stay hidden within themselves. And these are the people that we need to push out into the world. These are the people that showed up today. These are the game changers. The last manifestation exercise that we want to teach is one of a plasmic creation. What we'd like for you to do is to actually imagine what you want in front of you, and it's the exercise you did. It was probably in here. It's like block letters, like imagining block letters or writing something that you want. He pulled Hay House into his snow globe. So, let's see the snow globe from the Hay House. So imagine Hay House and pulled in snow globe, and one day later, after a year of Bill trying to get me a meeting with Hay House, they called and go, so who's this girl you wanted to meet with? We'll go ahead and call her. So you're gonna ask that was like water balloon energy. You put it in front of you, you say, I'm a snow globe. You clear your snow globe if the light comes down, and when you're all clear, then you just say, I want to manifest, I want to be an author. So you imagine the word author, but it's like a water-like block letters. And then just say, merge with me now, and it'll go into you, and it'll like burst, and it'll become a part of the water that's in your snow globe. And the snow globe will just clear any blocks that you have to it, and it'll just become a part of you. Any cords that you have to people that say, you'll never be an author, or you'll never be this, will just immediately be cut. So it's real fast, just knowing what you want. And if it's something that you want, it's not your highest and best bid, it's not gonna happen, but the thing that will happen will be the thing that is supposed to happen in relation to that, if that makes sense. Like you may be a ghostwriter, or you may be a whatever. It'll be a different variation of the same thing. And that's really good.
Let me just wrap up with this. It's
Okay.
the very ending of the book, and it's time that we need to wrap up. Because my higher self, my big Joe, hops in here. So I was saying, we come from our true home in heaven, as odd as this may sound. Heaven is reality, and earth is basically a petri dish, where a duality of good and evil is allowed to coexist. A planet with the duality of good and evil coexisting in the universe is actually rare. So despite the relatively young age of Earth, our collective consciousness leads us to believe that we are the center of the universe. And then here's what my heavenly realm said about that. And this comes from my big Joe, my higher self. And he says, there are many other realms, many other universes, many other dimensions, and many other Earths, some of which may not even know about our Earth. Technically, Joe, we do not agree that this Earth is the center of the universe, but as a figure of speech, yes. There are many spiritual visitors who are watching and guiding us in order to help the Earth become more like their planet. Because of this activity, our Earth feels like it's the center of the universe. These visitors have watched as baby planets like Earth develop and learn to sustain all forms of life, including humans. Unfortunately, they have watched these humanoids destroy their planets completely. So they need to recreate a new planet, like Earth, with animal life, plant life, oceans, rivers, and streams, so that humans may be developed to the point, as in the planets that surround the Earth, let me say that again. Unfortunately, they have watched these humanoids destroy their planets completely, so they need to recreate a new planet like Earth with animal life, plant life, oceans, rivers, and streams, so that humans may be developed to the point, as in the planets that surround the Pleiades, Arcturus, Andromeda, and Sirius, to evolve, so that souls will be willing to incarnate into those humanoids. With the Earth's duality, their souls like to incarnate on Earth for the experience. So that's it. Our souls come from Pleiades, Arcturus, Andromeda, and Sirius. They're keeping an eye on us. They're trying to develop this Earth so the humans can then be grown and they can infuse themselves as souls into humans. So
They always say I'm from Arcturus or Pleiades. Well, my soul, my big Joe, probably comes from Arcturus. And he's the one that planned me, and then he jumped into me with amnesia. I'm here with amnesia. I don't remember being in heaven before I came here. I don't remember sitting down trying to plan out this life. So I came down here with amnesia, but I came down here with a plan. And our soul keeps trying to keep us on our plan. And that's why you want to give your will over. Turn your will over so that your soul can point you in the direction that you plan to go in this life. And then just to wrap up, from the true home of everyone who has lived and died on earth, selected angels are watching this grand experiment that you and I are here to endure by design. We designed our lives in heaven with the help of our spirit guides and the approval of our souls, all the way up to Christ. We also come from a spiritual family in heaven, a family that continues to incarnate together over time on earth in order to learn the lessons that our souls predetermine us to experience. These are our soulmates, our soul family, and soul group. The only huge caveat is that we are born into human animals with amnesia by design. We don't remember where we came from, but we are spirit, and we have lived before. That's the end of it.
When Peter says, or James says, actually it's not amnesia, it remembers. There's just so many veils between the knowing and the unknowing that we place to trick ourselves, because it's truly, 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 truly the most grand trick and the most genius thing you could ever think of. You create something that you believe to be amazing, you experience it, you get bored with it, so then you place veils and memories and implants and demons and all of these different things on yourself before going back in, and now you experience it in a completely different way. The thing is that you're still a creator God, so once you're in that creation, you then create these sub-creations, and then another sub-creation, and then another sub-creation, until you're completely lost. And now it's not even amnesia, it's just pure stupidity, and you're stuck in this little bubble over here in this creation misery.
The original you that never left has to reach down and go, okay, let's just cut the cord to that one and let that life force come back to us so that we can create something new. So when you're feeling lost and when you're feeling afraid, it's because you've wound all these realities within yourself and fallen into them, just as Michael fell in love with his creation and he was sad about it. Many of you fell in love with a creation of something that you created in your mind, the fantasy maybe of a relationship that you've never had, but you fell into that fantasy life, when in reality, if you were on your path doing what you came to do, you wouldn't be living in a fantasy world thinking that you were living a real life. And we're not saying that you're not living a real life. James is so rude. We're not saying that you're not living a real life. We're saying that you can bring yourself back to center at any time and just say, I am now a snow globe, and I ask all of the pieces of me that are lost to come back to the center of me now. And just imagine all of these pieces of you coming back to the center of you, and allow the snow globe that's nice and clear and clean to completely cleanse you. It's not possible for the snow globe to be dirty anymore, is what they're saying. We can have snowflakes like outside of it.
It comes back to faith. You have to have faith that this is all going to happen.
Yeah, but they're saying the snow globe can't be dirty anymore. The snow globe is clean, like it's cleansed, unless we're in the fear world. If we're in the fear world, we're going to look like a dirty pot roast bag. But if you're, say, I am a snow globe, and you're in your heart, there's no way for your snow globe to be dirty. So what they're wanting us to do now is to pull all of the dirty pieces of us into us, and they immediately get cleansed. Because right now we say I'm a snow globe, and we're one of our little like realities that are hanging out of our higher self. But if we become our higher self snow globe, or super snow globe, then we're the snow globe that created all the other little snow globes that are hanging out of us. And that falls back into the God spot and the thought spot. exercise, but we have to go because the rooster is making dinner. I am going to see if I can. Was Rashay here today? Is Rashay here? We're so good that we upped the game. She says, yeah. Does anybody have any burning questions that you want to write here, so that way later after everyone's asleep, I can come on here and answer the questions? Did Aaron get any? Aaron, did you get a list of burning questions that people have? Oh, Donna's happy. That makes me happy when Donna's happy, especially because I owe Donna a reading.
Okay, we really need to wrap up.
Yeah, we do need to wrap up at 6:30.
Yeah, if they write questions, you can answer them later.
So yeah, do me a favor, guys. I can come back into this. I mean, you guys can remain chatting in here all day and all night, and even if I'm off of here, and I can come back and I can answer questions, which is, I think that there's really no room for questions. It's like if we're a clean snow globe and all of our crap is outside of us, and we just pull it in and it gets cleared, there's nothing easier than that. Oh, yay. Julia loved it all. I love it. No, we just get into our snow globe, Shelly, and we clear our heart each day. They want everybody to clear their heart each day and see how their perspective changes. And then I'm sure there'll be a follow-up class to this, Wednesday or something like that we can do, and we can all meet and do it again. But I think that what they are explaining to us is that basically the snow globe is the field of energy that Christ created that just clears us, and that we were in the astral plane before in these dirty snow globes, and now they're giving us the ability to be our higher self's snow globe, and that higher self can then just pull in all the broken pieces of us and just cleanse them and clear them, and then they're just going to be a part of us, and they won't be painful and hurtful and addicted or whatever it is that our issues are. I can say for one, I'm on day 19 off my medication. Right? Day 19.
That's great.
Medication. How do we buffer if we feel good with our snow globe and someone bumps us out? Just ask. Just they're saying to just get back into they're calling it the super snow globe. Say super snow globe or zero snow globe, and you'll get back into that. Make sure your heart snow globe is clear. That's very important. And if someone knocks you out, it's just being aware of it. Just say, show me the piece of me that just got knocked out. And you'll see this little tendril hanging up. And then just say, I'm calling that piece of me back to center now. And you'll call it back to you. And it'll be cleansed and cleared. And then you'll be fine. I do too. I love that. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to have to say bye to Papa. You'll see him.
I'll be back again in June.
Talking probably with Tawny down in Mexico. And
yeah,
you'll hear them going.
I'll try to do some shows. My Wi-Fi is absolutely terrible down there, so it cuts out all the time, and so it gets very hard to do a show. But we'll try. We will try.
I tell him you should just record him and then we should air him later, but we'll see.
I can't because Facebook won't download a video longer than 20 seconds.
This does need to get out, Donna. And you know what? They always said our third book would be a bestseller. I think this is the second snow globe. I think this is the third snow globe, and this needs to be the snow globe that changes everything. So,
yeah, we're going to transcribe these 3 parts that we did, and I'll be putting together the second edition of the snow globe.
They resurrected us. Oh my gosh, they smashed our old snow globe. They killed it, and we rose from the ashes. We crucified ourselves, basically got rid of all the old everything, and now we're our resurrected snow globes, and we have the ability to forgive and heal anything that we've ever had happen to us by pulling it into our hearts and it being healed. Wow, that's very cool. I'll have to listen to that again. Okay, all right, guys, you can rewatch this as many times as you want for the exercises. Continue to comment in here. I'll see them, and we can chat in here. That's why I love this crowd, whatever it's called. So, but we better go before we get in trouble with the rooster. Don't want to get a rooster mad. Okay. All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Low battery. Bye.
Okay. All right. Yes. Stop.
1:44. 1 hour and 44 minutes.
That's so funny how it's always right around that time. See here. Look at.